Welcome folks to season number 7 of the Roadster Rumble, live tonight from Phillip Island Race Circuit. We are here for round number 1 and gritting up for race number 1 as well, with a three race program tonight. Obviously 20-minute races, nice short quick fast runs with 2 classes once again of MX5s. We'll take you straight down to the grid for race number 1 as they grid up for a standing start, and it will be Brenton Hobson who jags another pole position for the first race of season 7. Jack Boyd starts alongside those two, went head to head all last season. They're going to do it again. Wooten's up there in third with Losh, Boyd and Kyle Ridley running out your top 6. Then we see Moroz and Sharp running out the 8. Dean's there with Andrew. Then it's Oliver and Matty T in P12 on the grid. Martindale will start out at 13th with Baker, Paradiso and Oliver down in 16th place. Once again, you can see the grey and the blue. That is the classes of racing cars. Class A in blue, Class B will be the grey mark next to their name. Foster out of 17, Go Goal, Connors and Craig down there in 20th place. Carriagey, in 20th place. Linus, Holmes, Cuthbertson and Ellis running at your top 24. 25th on the grid tonight. Big field, Harrison and Hodgetts, Mancaro and Pritzel down there in 28th place. Roberts and Kennedy, St John and Seeger, Harrison and Dutch down there in 34th place with Canto, Ferguson running at your 36th, and then right at the back of the field as we get set to go racing. It is St John, Seeger, Harrison and Dutch, like I said, Canto and Ferguson, then Harrison, Logan, Rodkin, Fenson, Gordon and Walker. Let's get straight down to the track now. Get set for race number 1 here, and Hobbo, can he get a good start? Look at that field of cars. It stretches all the way down to the corner, the final corner here on the pit straight at PI. What a great place to be for round number 1 of this brand new season. Welcome aboard. I'm Luke. This is Race Stars TV. Get involved in the chat tonight. Let us know you're out there watching. Graham Ellis says g'day, so does Maddie and Darren. Here we go, folks. The revs rise for the Roadster Rumble, a little MX5 Cup. And we should be off with a racing green about now. Good jump at the start. Big jump by Boydie. How loud are they as they rev past us there? They get away well. Martindale's gone backwards, but Jack Boyd did get the jump in the end over Brenton Hobson as we run down towards turn 1. Hold on to your breath. Hopefully they all get through here nice and cleanly. Back in the pack there, 2, 3 wide as they go through side by side. Nice clean start. Look at that field snaking its way down. The Roadster Rumble is back, and what a perfect start. Not a single car going off the track, and Jack Boyd leads them away from Hobbo. Then a Slosh, Ridley. We've got a car off the circuit, Martindale. And it's gone there's a couple in the fence in the background. I can just see in the very back of your screenplay there, and that is I think Kennedy, Nankara and Martindale with a 3 in the wall. But let's go back to the front where Jack Boyd, so far so good for him. 20 minutes, they're 15 lap cap races, but with about a 1 minute 48 lap time, it's not going to be anywhere near 15 laps for these races tonight. So we'll keep an eye on the clock so we don't get caught out, and we'll get some good vision as always. Look at these cars snaking their way up through the hay shed. Look at that, look back of 36, 38 cars tonight. In fact, it's over 40. They continue to just peel it out every season, don't they, with everyone wanting to get involved with this tight, fast, fun racing. As I think that was Baker's off the track. This could be huge because the top of the hill, he's stuck up there and he just backs out of the way. And still a dangerous place to rejoin if someone scoots around the outside. Who's that on the inside there? That was Jesse. No, Jesse's off the track down there. There's someone else off the track up the top. It could be Ray Oliver. It is Ray Oliver in the juiced car, so he now gets running again. It drops all the way to the rear of the field. Back crossing the line. This is where we'll start to see the power of the draft. And Loshi is right behind Hobbo here, going for a pass. The WBT racing car, who was on form last season as well, is starting off this first round just where he left off last season. That's what you want to see. You can see the nice big Group A picture on the number plate, so we know what class they're in, and they will race tight. You can see Ridley's also staying with him. That was a car sliding. I could hear that in the background. Someone's just gone for a mega slide down through turn 1. It was this man, Curtis Hodgetts. So, almost got taken out there with Scotty Baker going through, but that was a big slide. Mark Foster at the moment is leading the Group B drivers, and running at the current state about 6 or 7 seconds off the lead pack, but opening up a nice little margin. Hobson into the lead now, looking back from Hobbo's car. There's Jack Boyd with the smiling little assassin of Losh and Ridley in touch as well, and Glenn Boyd holding position at the moment, P5. He's just tucked in behind them. He's got Brad Wooten, who's jumped up from the B class into the A class and is absolutely on form already tonight. What can he do? We'll jump on board with him for a moment as he gets right up underneath the back bumper bar of Glenn Boyd. When I say underneath, sometimes these cars do go right underneath each other. On their best behaviour tonight though, 3 minutes into this race, and it's Hobbo leading. Side by side down the pit straight. Hobson and Boyd, here we go. The run down towards turn one. Losh is getting involved in this action too. He needs to try and get behind Hobson there and get a bit of a slipstream. He just held off for a moment there, sat right in the middle, and that didn't help him out at all. But Boyd goes down into turn one once again in the lead of this race. Matty says, what's the go with stars? Facebook not allowing them to be sent. No idea. Maybe we're not popular anymore. Not popular enough for stars, apparently. Who knows? As we see the top 6 cars covered at the moment by just on a second. Once again, Hobson and Boyd go wheel to wheel. Brad Wooten was actually the fastest car across the stripe on that last lap with a 1 minute 48.5. So it is quite a long lap here in the MX-5s. We can compare that to a GT3 car or a supercar, or even a what's a MotoGP bike do around here? We should know that from the weekend, shouldn't we? Be quicker than one of these, I think. Looking good, these two at the front. Nice, sensible racing, wheel to wheel, giving each other a lot of space. Nothing silly just yet, as we're right back on board with Jack Boyd. 5 minutes in. So 3 of these races tonight, all 20-minute races. And we've got some new sponsors on board too. You can see the new logo, top right-hand side of your screen, some new sponsors coming across to support what they do at the Roadster Rumble, which is fantastic. Make sure you give those sponsors a bit of a like and check them out on Facebook if you can, just to show your support back to them. The biggest mover and shaker so far, Andrew Dutch. He started way down the order, 32nd place I think it was from memory, already up to 18th, so that's a great gain so far as they come onto the pit straight again. This time Wayne Losh looks like he's about to line Hobson up for an overtake. Let's jump on board. Three wide as we head down the main straight towards turn one. In the background, Ridley and Boyd watching on. And, well, Brenton Hobson once again comes out on top of this little battle. And then back down the inside, Jack Boyd sends it. Puts Hobbo on the outside. That'll squeeze him wide. How will Hobbo go here? He hangs on for now. And down the hill, look at Losh. He wants to be a part of this. This is great, seeing the WBT racing cars right up there challenging for the lead. And on the podium at this stage, Ridley on the Frog Leap cars about to come through as well. Big braking zone now. This is tight. There's 2, 4, 6, 7 cars now in this lead battle. And I'll tell you what, Aaron Oliver in 8th place, up 3 positions, not too far off getting himself involved in that too as they disappear behind the trees. Good long shot here as they go through Siberia. Now watch them accelerate, trying to carry as much speed as they can up under the 4 and 20 meat pie signs. With Jack Boyd going wheel to wheel with Hobbo again. How many times are we going to say this tonight? 6.5 minutes in and they're still wheel to wheel, these two. Further back, Mark Foster. He's still leading Group B. We'll go across to Group B shortly. So the Group B battle is pretty tight tonight. There's Foster, Connors and Pears all within a second as well. Greg Holmes has done well. He's up 6 spots to be currently running 16th outright, 4th in class. So this is the man that, the maestro of this series, puts it all together in the background and back off, he says, on the rear bumper bar. He's currently moving himself forward, chasing down Pears. And if he can get past Andrew Pears, that will put him on the podium for race 1 tonight. He'd love that, that's for sure. This is the lead battle. You can just see they're coming up onto the back of a lap car now. So Boyd leads this one from Hobson, Losh, Ridley and Wooten. The lap car actually exits on the stage right there. Says, oh, I'm going to get right out of this one. But how's this battle at the front between Boydie, Hobson and Losh? It's been incredible. And then in the background, look at Wooten now, moving himself up into a 4th position. So, oh, and hard on the brakes there. Ridley goes with him, but Wooten, I think, will hang on. No, Ridley gets through. We've got a spinner behind them. And that was Moz going around there, unfortunately. The chopper cam picked it up well. Bit of contact, and the Canto racing car spins right around, and it's got a fair bit of damage on that rear bar as well. Bit of Darren Linus action, 26th place at the moment. Dropped 5 positions at the start, Vish. So we have a quick look at him now as he chases down Bard Rodkin. Both Rodkin and Keith Logan up the road here, up 14 spots each, 24th for Logan and 25th for Rodkin. They're in their own little battle, but both of those drivers have been putting on a really good showing so far. A new paint livery there, is it, for Keith? Zoom in and have a look at this one. It looks pretty nice. There you go, Southern Cross Racing Team. Very flash, some very bright coloured wheels there too for Keith. Chasing down Dave Gogol, who's currently 23rd place behind Fenson, another driver that we're used to seeing out there on the track from previous seasons. Henry Fenson, currently 22nd place, has made 18 gains in tonight's race so far, so he's really well and truly on his way. Meanwhile at the front though, this is what's happening. Now battle for the top 5, and we're almost halfway through race 1. Battle for Group B between Connors and Holmes. This is good. This is for a podium position. Greg Holmes trying to line this overtake up. He might try and slide down the inside this time into Honda Hairpin, or right up on the ripple strip. There you can hear how violent that sounds through the car. And going wide was Andrew Pears in front. Simworx, of course, being a sponsor of this series and continuing to sponsor. We have some new sponsorship coming on board. They're up top right hand side of your screen. Keep an eye out for the new ones. Meanwhile, back at the front, still Hobson in the lead. Jack Boyd 2nd, Losh 3rd, Brad Wooten 4th. So I'm just trying to rack my memory to last season, and Brad Wooten was definitely Class B, wasn't he? Because he really dominated that class. He's now been elevated up into the top best of the best in this series. Well, he shows that he's got the speed. He's only 1.4 seconds off the lead. His ultimate lap pace is actually quicker than the race leader with a 48.5. Race leader's best time. Hobson's done a 48.6 and a 48.9 for Jack Boyd. So just goes to show Wooten he's on form, really on form. They may need to work together though, because the top pack of 3 cars is just starting to stretch away slightly. They've got about a second margin between 3rd and 4th place. That's exactly what they will want and exactly what Wooten will not want, as we now watch Boydie, Hobson and Loshy continue to exchange positions. Back in the field a little bit more. This is still the battle for P3 in Class B. Looking at Foster, Pears and Connors at this stage, the leaders of Class B. Moz is a little bit out of position now. I'm just wondering if he dropped 10 spots at the start. Has he got some damage on that car? We know he had that spin. Yeah, that back end damage is probably hurting him. Straight line speed and cornering as well would feel a little bit clunky. That's where Moz has ended up tonight. by Goddard in the house. Hello, mate. 13.5 minutes now into this race. They continue to exchange positions at the front. Kicking up the dirt there was Kyle Ridley, I think, at the back of that pack it was. So the Juice racing car just putting a wheel on the outside there, grabbing the grass, and pretty lucky to get away with that. It's easy to send it down to the fence. We'll chuck a few meows in for you shortly as they cross the line. That put Holmes now up into a podium position in the MX-5. So in the MX-5 Class B, Greg Holmes, who puts this series together, he is on a roll tonight, up 8 positions. He's got Connors and Dutch behind him, and fantastic job so far. Boyd all over the back of Hobson. Now we're going to watch them sail down the straight. Who's that on the inside? Is that Wooten? It is. Having a look. Wooten having a big look over the top of the hill, and he's only 1 position off a podium. Now down the inside, you're going to see a challenge, are we? No, we don't. Hobson hangs on for the lead at this stage, but they'll be timing this. We'll probably get 3 more laps, judging by the timing. Obviously capped at 20 minutes, this one. Let's have a listen as they head down the pit straight here. Wall cam. Absolutely flying out there. Boyd, Hobson, Losh, your top 3. Bit of damage on the front of Wooten's car, so he hasn't got away with that altogether, trying to sneak his way to the front. The direct clutch motorsport car, I think he's made a bit of contact with the back end of one of these cars, and there you go, there's another hit, and that's going to turn someone around. Losh will go around, and he'll be spewing, he'll be fuming about that one. Wayne Losh, he may be calling that one out to race control. Have a look at that. And I was just talking about the damage we can clearly see on Brad's car. Now Brad's probably going to have to hold up and give that position back, which he seems to be doing now. He's just trying to there you go, give that position back to Loshy, but damage has been done, unfortunately. That takes them out of contention for a win in race 1 tonight. Darren Linus back up into 23rd now, so he continues just to push forward slightly. He's got Keith Logan chasing him down. He's trying to chase down Dave Gogol himself. He's in 22nd position, and they're a bit of a gap off 21st. You've got a little trio of cars, Ant Cuthbertson, Henry Fenson, and Damien Seeger, who have all made good gains so far in this first of 3 races tonight. But Hobbo at the moment is hanging on. He's ahead of Jack Boyd as they cross the line with 2 to go. And you'll want to time this right. Will you want to lead this onto the final straight? Do you want to be in front, or do you want to be trailing? I would say you'd probably want to be leading. We've seen it a few times when they've come here in the MX-5s. They just don't have enough power to overtake by the line. Got another car off the track. Phillip has gone for a spin down there. He comes back on the KP Tech racing car. And now we've got another one, Martindale. So they're going wide down there. Some oil on the track, maybe. Someone's dropped a bit of oil. So 10 laps in. Not bad. 17.5 minutes. We'll get 1 more after this. And we've still got 2 races to go. Of course, we'll talk to some of these drivers later. And that puts Home now. In fact, there's a couple of cars off there. Greg Holmes up into P2 now in class. Just noticed that Connors has dropped back Dutch as well. And Andrew Pear's dropping way down the list. I'm not sure what's happened to Andrew. Did he get turned around there? He's just dropped all the way down to 19th place with a little bit of damage on that car. So the Group B competitors having not a bad scrap down there as well tonight. and this will give us an indication on, is he bump drafting? He's definitely bump drafting. The white flag comes out, 1 to go. I reckon Jack Boyd was just seeing what sort of draft he could get there. He definitely was pushing Hobson along. Now he's going to challenge him for the lead in turn 1. So Boyd to lead down through 1 on the final lap of this race. Wooten in the background trying to take that position back from Wayne Losh after he had to give it back to him. And then Andrew Dutch further back in the field. He's up 19 spots into the 15th outright. So that's the biggest mover and shaker in our top 20 is Andrew Dutch. In fact, just moving into the top 20 now is Henry Fenson, up 20 spots. So we'll put Fenson on the list too of people that have done a wonderful job here in this first of 3 races tonight. We'll keep an eye on the front. This is where it's at. There's a good battle for the lead of this race and early honours in this championship to take the first round as they get quite sideways through there. Jack Boyd on the outside. Hobson chops across his nose. It's on now as they run up towards the hay shed. He's having a look at the inside of the hay shed. This is going to be pretty wild if he can get this done. I'll tell you what, doesn't matter where you are, they're happy to throw these MX-5s in for a bit of 2x2 action. And in the background, Glenn Boyd, he's on for a podium too. They will go side by side over the top of Lukey, drop it into the new, well, MG, good job. Hobson hangs on. We're going to get the run to the line. Who is going to win this one? There's a bit of contact there between Hobson and Boyd. Into the final corner now. I reckon Glenn Boyd might have a shot at this, you know, from P3. What sort of exit can he get out of the turn? Onto the pit straight they go. We wait for the line. It's going to be super close. Glenn Boyd in P3. Can he have a shot at both of them? To the line they go. And it's a win for Hobbo by 38 thousandths of a second. The Boydies, second and third. Great job. Super close finish there. And Kyle Ridley gets 4th. Mecklin gets 5th ahead of Oliver, Sharp, Losh and Wooten, your top 9. Tesseriro gets 10th as well. Well done, Matt, crossing the line. And Group B honours go to Mark Foster for the first race tonight. He's taken a win for Group B. That beautiful livery there, he's got 2. And Greg Holmes, he'll be happy with that. The series organiser takes P2 in the first race tonight. So how's that? We'll get you some information up on the screen shortly with all the results, and then we'll go straight into race 2. There's your race winner, Brenton Hobson. Do you want a ripper of a job here live on Race Stars TV? Race Stars TV. Heat 1 results up on the screen right now. Thanks to iRacing, and there they are with overall we'll go for first. Overall results shows Brenton Hobson your winner by 33 thousandths of a second. Jack Boyd, then Glenn Boyd your top 3. If we go to the Class B, let's just have a look at how that all ended up. And it was Foster, Holmes and Dutch your top 3. Class B for race 1, 2.5 seconds covering the top 3. Not as close as the Group A's, but still pretty close. Let's go to the grid now for race number 2. And they'll start this way. Progressive grid, Hobson off the front row, Boyd alongside him. Glenn Boyd starts on the second row with Ridley. McCulloch and Oliver round out the third row of the grid with Sharp, Losh, Wooten and Tesseriro out of P10. Mark Foster then starts in 11th place with Moz alongside him. 13th on the grid, Greg Holmes with Dutchy. Then it's Connors, Paradiso, Martindale and Pearce, your top 18, Cuthbertson and Fenson to round out the top 20. Seeger starts from 21st, Darren Linus 22nd, Gogol and Logan round out your top 24, and they get away straight away. So nice, look at that. We don't even get through the grid for race 2. They are off and racing. Good start at the front. Hobson jumped away well and heads down towards turn 1 in the lead of this race. seem to get through there pretty well so far. Now they head down towards the loop. They're already getting side by side. Tail end just run down through the loop now as we head. Oh, someone's wide, Boulder wide. That was Glenn Boyd. Unfortunately, from the second row of the grid, has gone way off into the distance there. Let's watch for Hobson appearing shortly down towards the big braking zone at Honda, and he's got himself about a car length lead. In the background, Adam Sharp is looking good. Late on the brakes and too wide. It was Ridley fighting his way through. There's contact in the back play as well. And Connors, I think, is one of the cars maybe facing the wrong way there. Who is that? Connors? Oh, a car on its lid. We've got a big crash there. Oh, flipped over again. Anthony Connors has been, well, he's been mugged down there. Oh, and he's gone back to the pits as well. So there you go. Go back to some live timing and up the top of the field. 0.2 of a second. Hobson leads Boyd once again. Oliver made a good start there. He's, well, he made a bad start, but he's now recovering, I should say, in 8th position. Matt Tesseriro's 9th, and then Moz up 2 spots into 10. Fierce little battle in this opening lap between the top 10 and the bottom of the top 10 as well, with Moz and Tesseriro, and Foster, who won the Group B race, is now challenging them. To note, there's only 1 second or so difference in lap speed around this circuit, so it's super close between these two classes of cars. That will change as we go to different circuits in this season. But tonight, very, very even. Darren Linus in the pits too, unfortunately, on this opening lap of the race. Anthony Connor says, I am dizzy now. We probably should get a replay of that. Let's see if we can dig up a replay of that little moment. Not the best way to start race 2 of the night. Let's have a quick look. So, got walloped there, gets walloped again. And then we'll get walloped again shortly. There it is. And again, and again, and again. So yeah, that was a bit mean. That's motor racing, isn't it? Back live. Hobson, once again, it's a, well, it's exactly what we saw in race 1, isn't it? They're super close, these two. I'm watching Moz fighting on the back of Aaron Oliver here, trying to find his way through. We'll jump on board with him for a moment. Let's listen to the gear shifts up through the hay shed here. You've got to try and keep the revs up, keep the momentum going. They do drop a fair amount of RPM as Ridley and Oliver bang doors through the hay shed, now up over to Lukey. Hold on to your hats. You just try and keep a nice tight line. Just hug that ripple strip. Don't get the car too sideways, because the more you hear those tyres screeching, the more you're washing off speed. In the background, oh, there's that Holmes out of control. Catches it now, but he was super sideways as he came across the top of the hill, and Ray Oliver slides through on the inside and says, thank you very much, Holmesy. I'll catch you later, alligator. And Tyson Gordon gets through as well in the Taps NT racing car. Nice livery on that car, goes up around the outside of Holmes.
Sorry, Michael.
The driver's saying sorry. I think Michael might have been punted off the track there for a moment. Back at the lead bunch, this is where they're at. We're going to ride on board with Jack Boyd now and watch this battle from his perspective for half a lap or so. So good clean lines there being shown by both Hobson and Boyd. In the background, they're still too wide. These guys fighting hard. Ridley's right there again, and Losh. Look back further as well, just watching Foster, who's currently leading 11th outright, but leading Class B once again. There he is, not too far behind that Oliver Losh and Ridley battle. So there's Dutch as well. Considering these two are, well, they're not too far off the leaders who are just going down through turn 1 now. So there's your race leaders after 4 laps, and your fastest lap 2 for Wooten. And here's your there's your Group B leaders. So loving that these two cars are very similar in lap speeds, just keeping the racing really interesting. As off the track goes, Ridley comes back on in control. Oh, someone did go wide though. Was that Losh? He's got to try and just keep it out of that gravel trap, come back onto the track, keeping the car nice and straight. Don't loop it round, and he does that now. So good job. Hobson out in front doing well. So Brad Wooten just did a 48.26 that lap time. That's incredibly quick. Obviously getting the assistance of the tow, but super job. This is a battle back further in the pack between Keith Logan, Canto, Scotty Baker's there, and Cuppison. We'll stay with this for a moment. There's Keith's P20 here, and really in the thick of things. Dylan Canto, you can see just in front, he's challenging him. And then Baker just behind his teammate. Loving the new livery on the Southern Cross racing cars too, they look fantastic. Back further, if we look back, Bard Rodkin, a couple of cars back, is chasing down Jesse, and you got Billy Martindale as well. Just slightly behind this pack, Paradiso, St. John. We haven't seen much of tonight. Adam St. John racing back in 27th. Stephen Kennedy up 10 spots now into the 28th position. Another driver back in the pack, but enjoying his racing, no doubt. Ray Harrison's there as well. Then Nankara, who went off the track. He's carrying a bit of rear end damage by the looks of things too. As we go right towards the back, Anthony Connors was the one that went over and over earlier on. Is back in the race, so that's good to see. Hasn't just parked it up for the race 2. He's back out there to at least get some laps in, get some practice in, ready for race 3. Anything can happen, so it's best to stay in on it if you can. As Moz and Sharp now go wheel to wheel. Adam Sharp, Moroz, Canto Racing versus Sharp Racing. Aaron Oliver as well, just tucked in there, P8 at the moment. Cerrero and Dutch. Good, tough racing between these competitors. This is great to watch. So drop down, the elevation change there, incredible. And wow, he's all over the back of him now, Moz. Great shot from the pit wall there. Shows the speed these little cars actually get up to at Phillip Island. A couple of 100 kph, moving along nicely. In fact, they go down through there, Stoner Corner. Here we are through Stoner, just on 175 kph, so not bad at all. 180 kph through the corner there, the apex of the corner, so decent effort, hard on the brakes now. All the way down to 70 kilometers per hour through the hairpin. And in the background there, Brad Wooten still staying with this lead pack. So showing from the outset here that this guy is going to be in this championship, Brad Wooten. He probably needs to find a little bit of pace, lap in, lap out, to stay with Hobson and Boyd, or at least challenge for a win. But he's definitely got the skills, and he's showing that now. Any wonder he was so good in the Group B cars. He is absolutely on form. These MX-5s, the 114, definitely one to watch out for this season. Beyond half distance now, race 2. Go back to the battle with Baker and Ellis. It's Graham Ellis at the moment, currently 17th. He's got Baker challenging behind. Let's jump on board with Mr. Ellis, local Larry Racing. Some nice speed through there and keeping Scott Baker at bay for now, but it's interesting to see how fast they are with the tow here. I'm just comparing the speeds there. There's 199 kph over the line for Ellis. Now Baker was about 5 kph quicker in the tow, so it's not a huge amount that they do get of assistance through the air, these MX-5s. They're the most slippery cars through the air, but they're not bad. Do with an extra couple of 100 horsepower, I reckon. Wouldn't that be cool? They should make an MX-5 that's just out of control, turbocharged, big horsepower, always sideways. That would be fun to watch. This is the Oliver Sharp, Moroz, Tesserero and Dutch battle we're looking at right now as they head up once again. Look at that. What is it? 2, 4, 6, 7 cars. Throw a blanket over there as they carry all this speed up towards the left-hander now, trying to sweep in, hug the apex. You can see Sharpie getting a really good run here on Moroz and backs out of it nice and early there so as to not create an incident. Wayne Losh in a bit of no man's land tonight in this second race. 12th place, just trying to find enough speed to catch up to Foster now. He's actually got 2 Group B drivers in front of him as we see the Group A and Group B leaders at the top of your screen. It's he's got 2 of them in front of him and he'd want to try and get ahead of them just for pride's sake. Losh P12 now. So Hobson leads Group A, Dutch leads Group B. There's Brenton Hobson, your race leader, and he's got 7 minutes to go in this second race tonight to take a victory. And he's looking pretty cool though. Jack, every time you think he's out in front, he's safe. Jack comes through out of nowhere and has another shot at him. Imagine if they bowled each other out and Wooten came through and took the win here. He'd be absolutely ecstatic. So I think they've just been practicing these two, driving side by side, lap after lap. It's almost precision driving tonight, like a parade lap, these two. But the crazy thing is that although it looks a little pedestrian at times, they are flat out wringing the necks of these MX-5s, and I reckon Hobbo would be a smile from ear to ear right now. In fact, if you want to go over to Twitch, you can probably see him streaming this race POV live right now. And nothing's in it. The top 4 now separated by 0.6 of a second. Someone's gone really wide through there. That was Wooten, was it? No, it wasn't. It was the lap car that was trying to get out of the way and sent it straight across the racetrack. Could have been a huge incident. That's given Jack Boyd his first little bit of a break now, and he's 4/10 ahead of Wooten and Hobson. So that Brad Wooten now up into P2. But that was a bit of a hairy moment down there at MG. That could have been nasty. And, so it was for position, wasn't it? Dean was just the big late send. And, well, you really threw it into there. Greg Holmes, one spot off the podium again, and he's chasing Andrew Pears in the Simworx racing car, who's been putting up a good fight here, but we're almost about to see Holmesy on the podium for 2 races in a row. Who reckons he's been doing some practice in the off season? I reckon he has. Driving beautifully tonight as he looks at the inside of Pears. Pears tries to hang on. Holmes goes through, so good effort now on the exit. Pears fights back. Seeger's wanting to get into this action as well. Riding on board there with Holmes. You can see in the mirror the car behind is Seeger. He's having a look down the inside. Tucks back in behind, so nice work there not to try and be too opportunistic on that move because it would have ended up in an incident. So Holmes, P4 in class, 15th outright. In the background, Baker's still fighting with Ellis. A couple of guys that we've been seeing race for season after season. Really good, clean racing in the mid-pack. I love their racing. Graham Ellis, in particular, has been a massive supporter of Race Stars TV. So big thanks and shout out to Graham, as many of these drivers are. So with 3 minutes to go in this one, still nothing in it at the front. Here's your top three. It's Jack Boyd, Wooten and Hobson. Super close together, and here we go again. Who's going to come out on top? I reckon Wooten's probably smart to sit back a little bit now and just watch these two in front. They generally don't get together. They're generally very safe, clean races, but you just never know. Wooten now actually challenges Hobson. Moves up into P2. So so close. This is the top three you're looking at. The gap back to Dean is now just on about 4 seconds, so he's probably unfortunately too far back to remain in the battle for the podium. But like I said, you just never know in this MX5 racing. Could be a lap to go here and we could have the top three get bowled out and Kelly could just come through and take a victory. You just never know. Foster still leads Group B. There he is. Not too far off the lead. It's still, as I said, it was only 9 or 10 seconds now covering first right through to 10th. And Andrew Dutch. This is for Class A. For Class B. These two are racing first and second at the moment. Greg Holmes in third is back a few positions with a few Class A drivers tucked in between. So nice job, Dutch and Foster, going head to head for this, our Group B winner tonight in race 2. We've still got one more 20-minute race coming up after this. They'll do a short, quick warm-up, have a quick break, but how good's the racing been so far tonight? With 1 lap to go, the white flag will drop. And your top three across the line is going to be Boyd, Hobson and Wooten. With a lap to go, I wonder if Wooten's got a good enough run here to get past them both. He's now coming alongside Hobson. And he's going to be there as they go across the line. Now start the run 3 wide on the final lap of this race. How good's this? Hobbo leads. Wooten leads now as late on the brakes around the outside. And up on the curb for a moment there as well was Wooten. He's got to try and keep this in control. He's racing with the big guns now. And Hobbo sweeps around to be back in the lead of the race. Boyd might go to the inside, make some contact with Hobbo there. So a bit of nose to tail contact, got away with it. Did that do any damage? Will Brad Wooten be able to capitalise on that? A little bit of, excitement or over-excitement. He goes to the inside now. The door's left wide open from Boyd. He's going to be late on the brakes and try and sneak down the inside. How close is he? Do they bang doors? They get super close through there. This is taking a bit of pressure off Brenton Hobson. You got to say the two that are racing behind him, slowing them both down. But now Boyd gets back there, capitalises. Dutchy's gone off, unfortunately, from P2 in Class B. I think he was having a go there at Foster and has come off second best. Hobson leads us through the Hayshed final lap of this race. Here comes Brad Wooten trying to get himself up onto the second step of the podium. Gets alongside Jack Boyd sideways as he goes up the hill. And now Boyd will have the inside line for braking. He's still going to try and squeeze him though, is Wooten. He's going to try and hang there on the outside to become the inside through 11 into 12. Nothing's going to stop Hobbo now, but it's going to be neck and neck to the line between the two behind through the final corner. Brendan Hobson, where's Wooten? He's just ahead by a car length now. And you're going to see the checker flag drop here. And it's going to be a fantastic victory for Brendan Hobson. Who's going to get P2? Wooten or Boyd? It's so close. It looks like Wooten. Wooten gets it. He gets it by the minimalist of margins, 35 thousandths of a second. Boydie gets third, then it's Calic fourth, ahead of Ridley, Oliver, Moroz. Sharp gets eighth. Put your hands together for Mark Foster, another win. The Group B driver, so he wins class again, ahead of Losh, and Dutch will get P2 in class, and Greg Holmes will come home for another P3 in class too. Double podium, still one race to go. He is on form. We'll get the results up soon.
Well done, Mr. E. Loved it, brother.
Yeah, they're loving it out there. Buddy. We'll take a quick 2-minute break while we get those results ready.
Yeah, great work.
And we'll come back for the final race tonight.
Thanks.
Here for the Roadster Rumble live on Race Stars TV. So Group B results up first for race number 2. And it was a win there again for Foster, Dutch and Holmes on the podium. The top 3, the Group A, super close at the front. Look how the times ended up there between Hobson, Wooten and Boyd. Nothing in it at all. And McCulloch getting 4th ahead of Ridley, Oliver, Moroz, Sharp, Tesserero and Losh. Your top 10. We've got a 7-minute warm-up now. That's time to grab a quick beer and get set for the final race tonight. Should be a big one. One race to go, beer o'clock. Be back with you in 2 minutes. Right, time to go to race 3 now. The warm-up is complete here at Phillip Island. They just get out there. A couple of drivers doing some laps, not too many. Most of them happy just to go and get a drink, something to eat, and get set for the third and final race of this evening. And let's have a quick look now at how they will grid up for this final race, and it will be Hobson once again on the front row. Wooten will start alongside him, Boyd and Calic out of the second row, Ridley and Oliver the third row, with Moz and Sharp rounding out your top 8. Cicero and Foster will start the top. Group B driver Wayne Losh will be right there with him, and well, it should be a good getaway. There's your top drivers anyhow for the first couple of rows. We won't get caught out this time. The start gets up very quickly on us here, and let's get rid of that music and watch them get away. Hobson will look to try and lead this one. He would love to start his season with another victory, and here he goes. The revs rise and the MX-5s get set for the final 20-minute race of the night here for the Roadster Rumble, around number 1, season number 7. Nice getaway at the front, pretty even once again going through. Wayne Losh jumped a couple of cars. We've got a huge pile up right in the back. You just see down the back of play there. A couple of cars involved in that, unfortunately, but down the front, Wooten leads us into turn 1. Brad Wooten in control. Good start. He'll be very happy with that. In the background, Hobson. Oh, there's contact. I heard it. There's spinners as well. 3, 4, 5 cars involved in that. And, oh dear, Tyson Gordon's back in the pits, I think, already. I know just coming through now, so I'm not sure what's happened there with Tyson Gordon, but he's got a lot of damage. So I think he was the car that got involved in that crash right at the back of the grid, unfortunately. But Brad Wooten, here he goes, in charge. Dean Calic at the moment in P2 is Ridley. Hobson now relegated back to 4th with Jack Boyd. So they're still battling those two, but they're not in the lead of the race this time. Dropping back slightly in the pack. Very compressed field at the moment. Easy for big accidents to happen. You can see what I mean out in front. Wooden's enjoying a little bit of clear air, but further back it is chockers. There's Ridley now under pressure from Hobson. Hobson to the outside having a go. Boyd now squeezes on the inside. Says, I'll be part of this too. Thank you very much. And the braking zone they go. Did they get it through there cleanly? They did. Nice job. Meanwhile, Graham Ellis is holding position there. Philip Paradisso's up 7 spots already, and Baker now challenges and goes around through the inside and puts Philip back a position. He now gets on after Graham Ellis. So a fair bit of overtaking going on. These cars pretty evenly matched, and they're good for that racecraft. If you're new to sim racing, you want to get involved in a good series that just bangs around once a week, and they enjoy their racing. They're very, very competitive and fair driving standards in this series. If you want to get involved though, look up Roadster Rumble. There's a link in the description to the Facebook page, and you too could get out there racing with these guys next week. I think just get involved, get in touch with Greg. I'm sure he'll help you, or want you to be involved too. They love having new people checking it out. So bit of work to do here for Hobson. Where's he gone? Just dropped right back. Dropped back to 22nd position, Brenton Hobson. That's not ideal. Has he got a clean car, or is he carrying some damage? I think he's just gone off the track somewhere there. He's dropped right out of contention. So Wooten now leads Dean Malik. We've got 2 newbies to the Group A up the front. Yet to obviously pick up a win in Group A, but wouldn't that be incredible if the first race after being elevated up, if he could take a victory in that Red Bull livery inspired car for Direct Clutch Motorsports. We've got to get him needs to get a nice custom livery, although it is custom. It's got a few of his own logos on there. I'd love to see that Direct Clutch in big letters somewhere, or a logo. I'm not sure that's actually written on the car, is it? Oh yes, I think it is on the boot. We see it on the boot. Direct clutch, there it is on the boot of the car. So he has got the logo on there. A bit hard to see from those sideward facing angles though, as now Boyd slips back into P2. Geez, quick, and he's absolutely applying the pressure now. Boyd doesn't hang back there for too long. Greg Holmes off the track in the background. He's going to have to be careful on the rejoin here, which he gets it back together. Kept the arms nice and relaxed there, and didn't bowl anyone out on the way back on. So, quarter of the way into the final race now. Look back further. Henry Fenson has Hobson behind him. That's incredible. Hobson so far back. Keith Logan then behind Hobson. Keith will be saying, hey, I'm racing against Hobbo today. Rodkin, then Cuthbertson and Darren Linus, who's one of our crowd favourites tonight for Frog Leap Racing. He's currently 28th and up 11 spots already, so not messing about, moving forwards in this race after not the best of luck earlier on tonight. Crossing the line here, they're already catching a lapped car by the look of it. Trying to pick up who that was. It's Roberts, isn't it? And Harrison as well. So I think Harrison's the next one up the road, as now Boyd goes through into the lead of this race, and Boyd will be the one that has to deal with these lap cars first, wake them up as such. He'll be doing that shortly. Holmes in the background goes neck and neck with Paradiso. And then look out, here comes Scott Baker. Really good turn of speed. Has he braked himself late in there? He hasn't. Turns back towards the apex of Southern Cross Racing. Look at that new livery. Looks great, doesn't it? Right in behind Phillip and sliding the car out of the corner. Then you've got Jesse and Graham Ellis next in this queue of cars. There's Graham Ellis. Billy Martindale running 21st, up 4 positions. Then Brenton Hobson. So far back. Adam Sharp's gone around. There's a lot of damage to one of those cars down there, and that's who is that? It wasn't Sharp's car with all the damage, was it? It's one of the others. Really crinkled in the back end. Oh, there's more contact down there, so they've got together those two. It's not Rodkin. I'm trying to work out who it is. Is it a lap car? Because they're not coming up in my order. I think it is Harrison, who's way out of position. Is he the one with the damage? Ray Harrison, it is. So I reckon he got hit off the start of this race, because that damage looks like an impact where you haven't moved off the grid and then you've just been clobbered in the rear end. Look at that. Not the most pretty looking MX-5 car, unfortunately. Down a lap and trying to stay out of harm's way. Meanwhile, leading the race out in front, Boyd. Nothing in it between himself and Wooten. He goes to battle as they cross the line. It's going to be Wooten back to the lead. They tend to change these positions every lap. Boydie hangs on the outside. Oh, almost gets a little hip and shoulder out towards the grass. Just kept it on the racetrack. That could have been nasty. Fair bit of dirt back on the track as well. But how about Jack Boyd there? That was incredible. Just loosen the arms, like I said before. You just got to hold on for the ride. He did just that. Dean would have had the perfect view, and we'll jump on board with Dean now. Team McKellick in P3, watching these two go at it. Not sure which way he was going to go there, right or left. Oh, and he's gone in deep, really deep there for Wooten. They almost make contact, Boyd and Wooten. So he exits the corner. It's still Brad Wooten leading this race. With the steering wheel work, you see Jack Boyd there through Siberia, just trying to work for some front end grip. Moving the wheel in. Ben Anthony says, hello Luke, hope you're doing well my friend. Hello mate, I'm doing alright. Good to see you're my only YouTube commenter tonight. It's very quiet on YouTube, I haven't even bothered looking until now. How long ago was that? 15 minutes ago, there you go. Hello Ben, if you come back I've answered you. very quiet on YouTube, very quiet in general. We got Anthony Connors, a couple of the drivers chiming in, which is good to see. As, what do we got? A couple of months till Christmas? A couple of months till Christmas. Not taking any bookings yet for 2023. Got nothing on my calendar at all. Gonna definitely hang off for a bit. It's time for a holiday. Time for a holiday. I think everyone deserves a holiday after what's been going on. Those that had to work through COVID didn't get a break. I think everyone deserves a holiday. Free holidays for everyone. I wish I was Ellen and I could just hand out free holidays right now, but unfortunately I don't have the money to do that. You win, everyone wins. Jack Boyd, he's going to win this one if he keeps this form up. Halfway point of the race, he'll know that we're halfway in, and he'll be, well, quietly confident, I've got to say. Andrew Dutch watching Moz and Matty T fighting just in front. Let's jump on board with Dutchy. Hard on the brakes goes Matty T, and Moz gets through. 10th and 11th place fighting there. We've got a car off the track, Phillip. Phillip is going for a wild ride. Phillip. And he just tucks in behind, and Cuthbertson gets it all back under control after that little bit of a scare. High speed off there. Back at the front, 10.5 minutes gone now. Let's ride on board with Jack Boyd looking back at Brad Wood and turn up the sound. So a few things going on this week, Race Stars TV. We've got F3A tomorrow night, possibly Sports Sedans on Wednesday. Not sure if they're going ahead yet with their numbers. And then we've got the Pro Series Saturday and Sunday. So Pro Series qualifying, top 10 shootout, followed by the race on Sunday, the Bathurst 1000 for the Logitech G Invitational Pro Series. So busy week ahead. Big day on Sunday. I'll tell you what, 10 hours sitting in this chair is going to be a long afternoon. In fact, I'm thinking of ripping my my sim racing chair right off this chassis and putting a lounge chair in for that day. So at least I can be comfortable. What about a recliner? Do you reckon I could fit a recliner underneath where my yoke is? Oh, out of shape Dean in the background. Oh, there's contact there as well between Ridley and Wooten. Ridley barks back on the radio as well. I don't think he liked that. So a bit of chat, bit of chit chat. They're closing up again. There's 6 drivers now within a second and a half at the front of this field. Group B competitor Andrew Dutch leads Mark Foster, so he's enjoying this one. Can he get himself a win in the third race tonight? Andrew Dutch ahead of Foster and Pears for the Group B honours. So they're all pretty close as well. They're covered by just on 0.6 of a second, the top 3 in Group B. Great shot as they come across down the hill. Once again, I tell you what, Dean Callick, he sends it towards the inside. Jack Daniels' car, I'm sure they're allowed to Not sure if you're allowed to have Jack Daniels on the side of your car. In iRacing, I didn't think you were allowed to have that, but anyway. It's having a crack. I won't complain. Jack Daniels could send me a couple of cases. I'd be very appreciative. Cash for comment. Wooten challenges Boyd once again at the front, sideways. Wooten on the inside, gets back into the lead. Probably 3 laps to go after this one, you would think. And Brad Wooten will do everything to try and hang on for a win tonight. But he's got one of the fiercest, toughest competitors right behind him, trying to steal that away from him. Meanwhile, back, Fenson, Linus, Cuthbertson in a little trio battle as well. There's the 3 of them fighting it out. This is for 22nd place, can you believe? A long, long way back, but still just as fierce as the battle up the front. No love lost. As Rodkin's the next one up the road from them as well. So they're bunched up completely at the front of this field, and I'm very, very surprised. There's the top 5. 6th place is Damien Seeger now for WBT. 2 WBT cars in the top 6. Aaron Oliver's now also on the back of that pack, so you've got 7 drivers that could possibly win this race. And I'm not sure if Jack's backed them up here, but they definitely weren't this close last time around. Those top 7 now within 1.2 seconds of each other. Incredible. The braking zone again for Honda. The big send down the inside again from Dean. He fires the car towards the inside of the track. It's impressive to watch. Can he pull it up? He does. Rotates the car, spits it out the other side again. Losh under pressure here as well. From contact, big hit in the back, and there's also a secondary hit. I think Seeger got into the back of Melk as well. This is where you've got to show your racecraft skills to try and get to the end of this race without taking each other out now. And, well, easier said than done, that's for sure. Two to go. 3rd race of the evening. Jack Boyd Wooten. Hey, I'm getting a guest commentator hopefully in a couple of weeks for this series, maybe next week. My mate Spike's going to come and commentate. I've got to pay him in free alcohol or something, I don't know. Should be fun. 2 to go as we cross the line here. Boyd leads from Wooten, Ridley and Losh. Callick is still 5th place. Seeger and Oliver. 2 Olivers up there, in fact, Aaron and Ray running 7th and 8th ahead of Canto and Foster, your lead driver once again in Group B. He's been incredible tonight, Mark Foster. He's now got back up there with a lead of just on 0.4 of a second over his Group B competitors tonight, looking for a clean sweep in the Foster sim racing car. Nice job, Greg Holmes having a good fight here. Oh, that would sound like a motor. Is that a motor? Definitely sounded like something just blew up for Scott Baker. Right on board with him. Has he lost drive? Yeah, he's definitely blown the motor, I think you'll find. Or a gearbox. Pulls to the side of the track, and that thing is toast. Unfortunately for Baker, we heard the big bang there in the audio feed. Come to a close in our 3rd race tonight. There's another car off the track. It's oh no, it's Billy Martindale going out of control down there. Comes back on 21st position. All that good work undone, sadly, because he was up about 7 or 8 positions from where he started. Now he's back there 3 positions up in 22nd, unfortunately. But we'll go with Boydie at the front here, 0.4 of a second to start the final lap of the race. Surely he should be able to bring it home from there. You would think he's got enough of a lead over Wooten. Wooten will close that down though, get a bit of a slipstream, but Boyd's also getting a slipstream here off Nancaro, the lap car, which should just help him slightly. White flag waves. 1 to go. So the gap at the front, 0.2 of a second. Greg Holmes still on for another podium here. There was that white flag waving. A little man there, he loves waving that flag. So Greg on for another podium tonight in Group B. out in front. Let's watch Boyd try and bring it home now. Still 2/10 for second. Wooten hasn't given up on this. Still a chance Wooten can steal this away from Boyd, especially with these lap cars. Just takes one of them to balk Boydie the wrong way, and he'll be right all over this Wooten. Let's jump on board with him now as he looks. He goes to the inside of Boyd now. He's having a shot. Boyd leaves the door open. Enough space there to probably try and get through, and if he can go side by side up towards the hay shed, this might just be the move of the day for Mr. Wooten. Here he goes. Boyd slams the door shut. He tucks back in behind through the hay shed now. He's got a lot of pace through there. He's going to try and go the long way around, is he? Up over the top of Lukey. No, he's going to hang back. Now, he's got to think about what he does here under brakes. Does he have one more shot at him? He holds firm. Good exit required to try and get a run to the line. Staying with this lead battle. Boyd's got a car length as they exit 11 to head towards 12 to bring it to the line. Will Jack Boyd take another win tonight? He's been on true form he was last season. He's going to do it again tonight because I think that's enough of a lead. Brings around the final corner onto the pit straight. The checker flag drops and Jack Boyd takes the win in race 3 from Wooten, who gets second. Ridley gets third. Great drive. And well, where's Mark Foster? Here he comes to take a clean sweep tonight. Foster wins all 3 races for Group B. Great performance, and yeah, he has been absolutely flawless tonight. We're going to get some results up as we always do. We'll bring you a couple of interviews as well shortly, so don't go anywhere. And we'll wrap it all up here from Phillip Island for the first round of season number 7 for the Roadster Rumble, live on Race Stars TV. We just wait for the results to come across from iRacing, and then we'll get them up on the screen for you. Wrap things up. Some drivers standing by in the green room shortly as well. But iRacing just a little bit slow on giving me the results tonight. Still waiting for them. Hopefully they'll be with us shortly. We need to wait for all the drivers to cross the line, and here they are now. So the race feature results coming up on the screen, and we'll show Group A. First of all, the winner there, Jack Boyd from Wooten and Ridley, gets himself his first podium for the evening. And then Group B, look at the top 3 for Group B, goes Foster, Dutch and Holmes, gets himself on the podium again. So nice job. We might start off, we'll start off with Group B tonight because Group B is standing by. So welcome and congratulations, Mark Foster, clean sweep tonight. Good way to kick off a brand new season, mate, of the Roadster Rumble.
Thanks, boy. Cheers, mate. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it was a great race. Had some good battles, but managed to just hold off and bring home the chocolate.
And mate, how's the car feel? Not a huge difference in speed between the Class A cars, which I love. That aspect of it tonight. You were good being able to see the leaders the whole time.
Yeah, we were. Myself and Dutchie, and I think Greg was with us for a bit as well. Managed to hold on to the back of the A class. I drove the A class, or the 2010s last season, so this just feels a little bit more stable in the corners. It just doesn't quite accelerate out of the corners as fast, but they're a good little car to drive, that's for sure.
Yeah, good job, man. Quick thank yous, anyone?
Just to Greg and all the admin. I know how hard it has been to get all this season up and running again. To yourself, for coming back and putting on another season. We always love watching ourselves back on TV, and makes us feel pretty good. All the sponsors, and I know we've got a few new sponsors, which is great to see them part of it as well. So, and just my own sponsor, which is Colourful Learning Toy Store down in Mornington. Get on it.
Yeah, great drive tonight. Well done, mate. Winner of Group B. So thank you, Mark Foster. Right, let's go to Group A now. And Jack Boyd, mate, congratulations. Some good racing tonight. Those first 2 races in particular, just pretty much wheel to wheel with Hobbo for the whole time.
Yeah, we picked up where we left off, I think. So it was cool. Yeah, I'm really liking this new car. With instead of just me and Hobbo up the front, it's brought a whole heap of different people into the mix. So yeah, it was really enjoyable tonight. We had like 5 or 6 guys there the whole time in the front pack. So yeah, thanks to Greg for changing the car up. It's really enjoyable to drive, and yeah, I think this season will be really good.
Yeah, good racing, and Brad, well done, mate. You have stepped up from Group B right into Group A and done really well tonight.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was a lot of fun tonight, racing door to door with a lot of cars, so I had a really good time.
Looked fantastic. And Kyle, P3, mate, in the final race tonight. That would have been fun. Some nice moves as well, some good overtakes.
Yeah, it was good. Kind of picked up where I left off with last season and still battling for them podiums. Really happy.
Well done. Right, the top 3 thank you time. Let's start with you, Jack, for Boyd Racing. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, just a big thanks to Greg and his admin team. Yeah, coming back for another season, I know there's a lot of effort that goes into it, so thanks to the team. Yeah, really enjoying this new car, and yeah, just thanks to my personal partners, Simworx and Palmer's. Thanks, guys.
Well done. Brad, P2, who would you like to thank, mate, for Direct Clutch Motorsports?
Yeah, Greg and all the admins again, mate. Again, really good series, and it looks like it'll be shaping up to be a really good one. And then yourself for the broadcast, mate. It's really good every week.
Thanks, mate. And then finally, Kyle, P3 tonight. Who would you like to thank?
Just Greg and the team, yourself, and all the sponsors on my car.
Good on you, mate. Great drive tonight. So your top 3, Jack Boyd, Brad Wooden, and Kyle Ridley. Congratulations on the top 3. Right, we'll head across to Greg now. Well done, mate. You got yourself a couple of podiums as well tonight. You got to be stoked with that for the first round back.
Yeah, it's nice change. We sort of parked the 16 car for this season, and I thought we'll try the 210 Cup car, and then somebody said, what about the Roadster? So I sort of tweaked and played with the Roadster a little bit. I've got a setup in it that's half reasonable, and at first nobody wanted to know about it, so I jumped in for the first qualifying session in the Roadster, and lo and behold, I think we got about 25 in there now. So I think everybody's just out to beat me, Luke.
That's it, mate. But you had some good racing tonight, and tell us a bit about the new sponsors that have come on board as well for this season.
Yeah, so we've got Simworx have jumped on board. Grundy Hotel has also jumped in, which is great. They're putting up a weekly award, which I might quickly add this week goes to car 72, Dave Gogol, for an excellent drive.
Awesome.
So congratulations, Dave. You've picked up the driver award for round 1. And yeah, Simworx have jumped on board. I've had a good association with both Derek and Phil for quite a while. And we've actually organised, believe it or not, I don't think he's in tonight, but we've actually organised a sim for Hobbo, courtesy of Simworx. So
yeah, right.
Well done, boys. Yeah, so looking forward to having them on board and throwing up a fairly major prize at the end of the season.
That's awesome, man. Great to have them on board. And yeah, this is wrapping up 40 cars tonight. It's a big turnout again.
Yeah, it's we've got, I think there's about 45 registered in total, so we should average around the 40 cars each week. And like I said, the 210 cars are really good. There's some good close racing, and you can actually get the Roadster sort of up into the mid pack of the Cup car, which is makes it more interesting as well.
Fantastic, man. Well, good fun. We'll be back in next week. Do you know where we're off to next week? Which track?
So next week, you're going to kill me, but I'm pretty sure next week we are off to Motegi.
Motegi. Awesome. That sounds good, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing them all bump around there.
Yeah, that's a first for this league. So, boys, if you're listening to the broadcast, make sure you get plenty of laps in, because you're going to need it.
That's it, mate. All right, thanks, Greg. We'll catch you next week, buddy.
And quickly, Luke, thanks again to you, mate, for coming back this season. The boys absolutely love the broadcast, and it wouldn't be where it is without you every week. So a big thank you once more.
Thanks, man. I love the new logo too. Very synthwave. Looks great.
Yeah, we've got a new art department. That's me. But yeah, it's coming along, and yeah, hopefully this season will be a cracker. So it's
awesome.
Great to have you back on board as well.
Cheers, man. Righto, we'll catch you next week, and we'll hit it off at Motegi.
Okay, thanks, Luke.
See you, mate. Cheers. Righto, that's it for this evening, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and big thanks to all our drivers who will come in for a quick chat there. But Jack Boyd, too strong tonight in the feature. Takes the win from Brad Wood and Kyle Ridley, your top 3 Boyd Racing. Back on the top step of the podium, as he was last season as well. Righto, we'll catch you next week. Roadster Rumble tomorrow night. We are doing F3A from 8 o'clock, so tune in for that. Until then, I'm Luke, Race Stars TV. Good night.